Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com, and it is time for this month's Tarotscope for March 2025. It's a beautiful day here in Somerset, England. It's finally not raining, so I decided to do the reading today by the window as a harbinger of spring, which we're all excited about in the Northern Hemisphere here. And what I'm going to do in this video today is I'm going to go through every astrological sign, starting with Aries, ending with Pisces. And I'm going to pull two cards for each sign as a forecast for the month ahead and what sort of energy you might be confronting and how best to take advantage of that energy as we go through this next month. And so, without further ado, let's go into the tarot scopes for March 2025. So first, we're going to start with the astrological sign of Aries. So if you're an Aries or have a lot of Aries in your chart, this first card is going to talk about where it's best for you to place your focus for March. And we get the Ten of Cups reversed. Now, sometimes the Ten of Cups reversed can indicate that you need to be mindful of the role of color in your life this next month. If your mood has been depressive, sometimes the Ten of Cups reverse can say that you want to look around you and really see, what am I surrounding myself in? What colors am I wearing? How are these affecting my mood? Also, if you want to shift your energy, for example, to something more confident, maybe wearing more fiery colors like reds or yellows could be so helpful. Or maybe if you're working on some emotional healing, wrapping yourself in blues or really allowing the green of love to come forward could be so helpful. But I feel like that rainbow is really giving us an important sign here. Also, the Ten of Cups reverse can sometimes indicate that you're losing sight of perspective when it comes to members of your family or some of your closest relationships. And so it might be a time where you're clarifying things with them, where you're really communicating or resolving something that has turned into a conflict. Either way, that emotional aspect of your life is going to be so important this next month. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you are an Aries, is another Cups card, which is the Seven of Cups. And on the Seven of Cups, we see sort of a dream sequence where this figure is looking ahead and a fog is covering his path. And out of that foggy cloud are these seven cups, and out of each of the cups are these magical objects. Some of them are wonderful, like jewels and crowns, and others are scary, like dragons and snakes. And yet, this figure is in a dream, in an illusion. And sometimes when we can't see the path ahead, we project our imagination on it. We think, oh my gosh, I bet it's going to be a dragon or a snake or something terrible. Or conversely, we could also say, I can't see what's going to happen, but I bet it's going to be wonderful. And, I'm a spiritual person, so everything's always going to work out. And yet, Seven of Cups will ask you to pay attention to what the reality of a situation is. This is also going to be a time, especially this next month, that you're really loaded with emotions. Two Cups cards coming up for you, Aries. So this is a time for you to really clarify things. It might also be a time to dissipate the mist when it comes to communication between you and others. And also, there is this sense with the Seven of Cups that it's a card of dreaming big, having that castle in the air. But now it's so important that you're building a foundation beneath it. This is a lovely card for being an artist or a visionary or a dreamer, but it does require you to bring it down to earth. Otherwise, it's just a dream. And so I just feel like this is a time to really focus on what's happening in reality and check that against what might be going on with your own emotional experience. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Taurus. So if you're a Taurus or have a lot of Taurus in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March. And we get the Page of Cups reversed. Now, when the Page of Cups comes up reversed, he is upright, a very creative card, and when he's reversed, he can represent a creative blockage, feeling a little stuck with something. Also, the Page of Cups is one of the most sensitive cards in the tarot, and when he's reversed, he can indicate an emotional blockage. If you're kind of looking around at your life and you're feeling like something's holding you up or holding you back in some way, it might be an unresolved emotion. Also, this could be a time where you're needing to be very strategic if you're involved in creating something new, involved in a project and it's feeling stalled or delayed, or you're just having a really hard time feeling motivated about what you're trying to accomplish. This is a card of getting organized in your thinking and creating some structure or parameters in your life so that you can accomplish these great things. Either way, you're going to be a little bit more sensitive this next month. So show yourself some grace, Taurus. Be patient with yourself, and also do what you need to do to get things moving again. The advice from your inner wisdom this next month of March is the Ten of Pentacles. Now, Ten of Pentacles is a loaded card. It shows a family scene with this old man surrounded by his family. It can absolutely have a family focus. It could be a month where family might be a source of support or security for you, Taurus. But also, the Ten of Pentacles is a card of security, legacy, working toward those things that are going to last. And when we couple that with the Page of Cups reversed, there's a sense that you're onto something. You're approaching something that could lead towards some long-term security for you, Taurus. And yet you're needing to persevere and keep moving forward. Ten of Pentacles is also a card of community. So this could be a time when you're collaborating more or working with others towards some sort of stable effect. But I do feel like taking your place in your community or finding your place in the organization is going to be so helpful this next month. But I just feel like there is a lot of security here. It doesn't even matter how you might be feeling about your life with that Page of Cups reversed. The fact of the matter is you're on a very stable track. And you just need to stay focused on whatever that legacy is that you're trying to build and keep working toward it. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Gemini. So if you're a Gemini or have a lot of Gemini in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March. And we get the Ten of Wands. And the figure on the Ten of Wands, he's got these 10 heavy sticks on his back. He's lugging them across a field. And absolutely, this card can represent that there's a lot of work that you're needing to do this next month, Gemini. This might be that final slog. And if you look closely at the Ten of Cups, you can also see the figure is just about to cross the finish line. So this could be a time for you where you're almost there. You just have to give it a little bit more of a push. And yet there is a lot of effort. I don't want to sugarcoat this card. There is a lot of effort that you're having to put into your next month. There might be an important thing that you need to work on and just get the old job done. But also, this is a harvest scene. And Gemini, I feel like the efforts that you're putting into this are going to have you reap wonderful rewards. And so this is just a month to be confident, move forward anyway, feel good about what you're accomplishing and doing, because I just feel like this is absolutely wonderful for you. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Gemini this next month, is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is a relationship card. We can see the two lovers on this card who are facing one another, and in between them is that wand of Mercury, the messenger god, representing the importance of communication. And so in your partnerships or relationships this next month, it's so important that you're working toward consensus and harmony. And also, you can see that big lion head that's floating above the staff of Mercury, and that can represent ego. It can represent that people have really touchy egos this next month. You might have to be very careful about how you're discussing certain things. But also, Two of Cups is a card of love, harmony, developing relationships. So if this is an aspect of your life that's been neglected, this is a card that says that you might want to open your heart to that part of your life once more. But I just feel like this could be a lovely time, a wonderful time for you to open up, be vulnerable, and make those important connections. And I also feel for you, Gemini, that your ideas will become better when you bounce them off of a trusted source who's going to give you wonderful feedback or advice as well to help hone or refine those ideas to make them even better. So don't just keep everything all to yourself or isolate. This is going to be a month, Gemini, where you're making important connections again. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Cancer. So if you're a Cancer or have a lot of Cancer in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March 2025. And how appropriate we get the Moon card here. Astrologically speaking, the Moon is the ruler of Cancer. And what does the moon represent but our instincts, our unconscious emotions that might be going on without us always thinking about it? We are sensitive creatures, and beneath the surface with all of us are these deep emotions, old situations that might be accumulating within that are affecting our perspective, affecting how you look at the world. The moon is sort of like the lens that you're looking at the world through, that emotional filter. And Cancer, it's no secret, is one of the most sensitive signs in the zodiac. So this could be a month where you're a little bit more in your moods, you're a little bit more in your emotions, your feelings. The moon is also a card, though, of seeking what is authentic. The moon in Latin is luna, where we get our word in English lunatic from. So when we repress our real feelings, or don't pay attention to what our emotions are trying to tell us, or find an outlet for them that's healthy, we can start to go crazy. We can start to feel unlucky or bottled up. Or like, why is this always happening to me? Why am I so thwarted? Why am I so frustrated? So the moon is all about shining a light on what's going on unconsciously for you, bringing the unconscious part of you to light so it's then conscious so that you can understand it. And finally, the moon can indicate feeling your feelings. Sometimes unconsciously, when something's going on that's bothering us and we bottle it up, we're feeling strangled in our daily life. We're feeling heavy, or like something's working against us, sort of like we're walking through mud. And what this card says is it's important to let your feelings flow, even if it requires tears. And letting your feelings flow isn't always just a tragic, sad, box of Kleenex moment. Sometimes it's also through humor. Sometimes it's through laughter and just having an outburst emotionally of joy. It's so important this next month, Cancer, that you're letting your emotions flow for that catharsis. The advice from your inner wisdom for Cancer this next month is the Nine of Swords. And that's the card of worry, worry, worry. I almost get the sense with the moon and the Nine of Swords, it's like, during the daily life, you're just going through the motions, going through the grind. And it's at night, when everything's kind of calming down, that then those anxieties start to surface. The Nine of Swords is called the worst card of the deck, and it's not because the worst things are about to happen to you. It's called the worst card of the deck because it affects your brain, affects your perspective. It makes you see things that aren't really there because they're going through a negative emotional filter. And I find the best antidote for the Nine of Swords is not to isolate, like the figure on this card, but instead to shine some sunlight on the thing that you're worried most about. And also letting the grief flow, letting the difficult emotions go. That's so important with the Nine of Swords as well. I feel like you might need to speak about what's making you anxious or what's making you feel heavy emotionally speaking this next month, Cancer, with someone who's supportive or caring. And I do feel like this could really shift your perspective. You need to listen to the moon, follow your instincts and your intuition, and shine a light on those shadows that really need your compassion at this time. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Leo. So if you're a Leo or have a lot of Leo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March 2025. And look at that, we get the Magician card. And I love the Magician because not only is he a card of self-mastery, he's got all those objects on the table, on the altar in front of him, and he's able to manipulate them however he wants to. And those different objects represent different aspects of his life. The cup is his emotional life. The wand is his ambitions. The sword is his thoughts. The pentacle is his career, his finances, and his sense of worth and value. I just feel, Leo, like you're really getting control again over the altar of your life. And also the lovely thing about this card is the Magician is a master at manifesting new conditions. This is a time where you're going to start to feel like the light is returning and you're back in control. And the lovely thing about the Magician is if you don't like what you're seeing in your life, you can change it, but you're needing to change what you're placing your singular focus on. That's represented by that singular white wand that the Magician is raising. So I just feel like this is a time to really focus in on whatever it is that brings you empowerment. And remember, Leo, this next month, your thoughts are magic spells. They are creating the reality you're experiencing. Check yourself. Are you walking around in your garden and outside with a scowl on your face, or are you walking out with a smile? It's so important that you are self-aware of those thoughts that are kind of going on automatic, And instead, you're really consciously choosing to be uplifting with them, to focus them on something that does bring empowerment. The advice from your inner wisdom this next week, or this next month, Leo, is the Knight of Pentacles reversed. And Knight of Pentacles reversed can indicate that you're coming out of a period that felt stalled or stuck. The Knight of Pentacles reverse can indicate that you've gone through a period where you're trying to see something work and trying to get the field to grow and nothing was happening. And now growth is happening. Now the little shoots are coming out of the ground, the first shoots of spring. And it might even feel like your patience is paying off, your diligence. And we couple that Knight of Pentacles reversed with the Magician card. And this is just a season where you really get to turn things around toward your empowerment. So enjoy this next month because things are going to get moving again. You know, of all the knights in the tarot, the Knight of Pentacles is on the one, the horse that isn't moving forward, it's standing still. When he's reversed, that horse is going to start to move again. So I do feel like there's a sense of opportunity and also some excitement that finally some progress is happening here. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Virgo. So if you're a Virgo or have a lot of Virgo in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus this next month of March. And we get the Knight of Cups. And a lot of people call the Knight of Cups the messenger of love in the tarot. And if love is on your mind or your emotions are needing to be paid attention to because they've been neglected, or you're trying to invite romance into your life again, this is absolutely a wonderful card for that. It could be a confirmation of it. But for me, the Knight of Cups is not just restricted to love or love themes. He's also the messenger of your bliss, following what you love, following your passion. And like all knights, the Knight of Cups is on a quest. And so this could be a month for you, Virgo, where you're on a quest to find out, what is my bliss? What do I need to move toward? What's going to benefit me the most? And also the messenger of love, the messenger of the tarot with the Knight of Cups, with the winged helmet and winged shoes of Hermes or Mercury, the messenger god. This is a time to communicate. And, that is your ruling planet, Mercury, Virgo. So this could be a time where you're really aligning with that mercurial energy of communicating, allowing yourself to speak, allowing yourself to clarify. Or maybe it's an important month where you have something important to say, and it's time to share those ideas. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Virgo, is the Eight of Pentacles. And coupling that Knight of Cups message with the Eight of Pentacles, the work card, this could be a time where you need to get clear about what is your passion when it comes to your work. What do you want to be spending your time on? And I get it. Sometimes we're involved in a job that's more supporting what we really love in our lives. We just go through the motions so we can make money and survive and then put that put that money or put those resources into something that gives you a sense of satisfaction or happiness. But I feel that Eight of Pentacles is saying it's time to focus in on the thing that you bring that will bring you enjoyment, the thing that makes you feel alive and passionate in your own life. It's also a month that's full of hard work, and yet your diligence and your consistency, Virgo, are going to see you through. And finally, if you are struggling at work with other people, that Knight of Cups can indicate clarification through communicating or bringing compassion into the conversation or understanding to build consensus so that you can move forward smoothly instead of doing what a lot of Virgos can do, which is kind of knowing that they have a lot of common sense and they already know the way to go and they can get a little frustrated with the people around them and yet show compassion anyway, show some patience with those people anyway. It will really go a long way to creating a smoother environment for you that's much more harmonious and ends up leading toward everybody's success in the end. So I just feel like communication, absolutely important this next month for Virgo. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Libra. So if you're a Libra or have a lot of Libra in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March 2025. And we get the Three of Pentacles. Now, the Three of Pentacles is a card of learning, education, or study. And this could be a month for you, Libra, where you really want to engage in what interests you. This is also a wonderful card of refining or honing a skill. And so this could be a time of completing projects or polishing some sort of a talent or an ability that you have. But always this card has an association with knowledge, with wisdom. I also feel like this could be a wonderful month for you, Libra, to examine where other people who think are gathering and maybe gathering information or ideas from them. A lovely month to collaborate or to visit places where you get to learn or get exposed to new ideas as well. I just feel like this is a great month to engage in some sort of study or some sort of refinement that positively affects your life. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Libra, is the Hierophant card. And the Hierophant is a card that has to do with accessing your spirit. Wherever you are right now, whatever you're going through, when the Hierophant appears, he wants you to know that spirit is listening. It's ready. It's waiting. And sometimes the things that we want or what we need, they aren't just accomplished all by ourselves or just on our own, but sometimes we have to ask for it from something higher. And so, no matter what your belief system is, or what you participate in as far as spirituality is concerned, the Hierophant card really does tell you to access that transcendent part of yourself. And even for the atheists out there, the Hierophant card can put you in contact with what's highest or best within you. And this is always a card of faith, having faith in what's best about yourself, but also having faith in a higher plan, a higher synchronicity, a sense that nature, the universe, it always balances itself out. And so I just feel as well, when we couple the Hierophant card with the Three of Pentacles card, there is some teaching energy going on here. The Three of Pentacles is the card of learning, the Hierophant is the teacher. Not only could you find that you're stepping into your role as teacher or really sharing something important with others, but it also could be a month where you're being taught, where there's something very important coming your way. So engage in learning, Libra, this next month. It just looks like that's going to be the best way forward. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio or have a lot of Scorpio in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March. And we got the Hermit card. And the Hermit, he's an old man with a cane walking over the snow, so he's not moving very fast. And he has that lantern. As he's navigating through the dark, the lantern is illuminating the next proper step for him to take. And when the Hermit comes up, Scorpio, it could indicate you can't see the whole path in front of you. You don't know how the movie ends yet. All you have is the lantern to show you what the next appropriate step is to take. And yet that's all you need when we see the Hermit card. If you just take the next appropriate step, well, then the next step is going to be revealed by the lantern, and so on and so forth as you find your way through the dark. The Hermit is also a card of retreat, getting back in touch with your own spirit. And it's also a card of knowing where the line is between where someone else ends and where you begin. So I just feel like this is an important month for you, Scorpio, where you're really kind of claiming space for yourself. You're also taking your time. You're finding your way through the dark by trusting the lantern of your own inner wisdom, but that you're not rushing things. It's so important that you're just taking your time. Advice from your inner wisdom, if you are a Scorpio, appropriately with the taking your time message, is the Queen of Pentacles. She is one of the most patient cards in the tarot. Her garden isn't fully in bloom. It's still growing, and yet she's not concerned about that. She's focused on the coin in her lap. She's focused on her work, what she's trying to manifest, or her value. And Queen of Pentacles also has that little rabbit in her garden. Hidden in the bottom corner of the card is that little rabbit. And that rabbit can be nervous energy. It can represent anxiety. And you might be anxious because you are going through the dark, Scorpio. But the Queen of Pentacles is telling you to relax and stay focused on the work in front of you. And all will bloom in its appropriate time. This is also a wonderful card for financial security or stability. So anything that's affecting your career, your financial life, it looks like there's good news around you, or something really is supporting your success this next month. So keep engaging in it. But I just feel like the Queen of Pentacles is really saying that there are seeds that are being planted right now that may not fully manifest in March, but are going to bear fruit as we go into summer. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Sagittarius. So if you're a Sagittarius or have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart, the first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March, and we get the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles shows the juggler. He's juggling the two coins. And this could be a symbol for you, Sagittarius, where you're juggling two aspects of your life. Maybe you're juggling two jobs, or maybe you're juggling work and school, or you're juggling, this project versus that project. And yet, Two of Pentacles also shows those wavy waters behind the juggler. And this is saying life is sending you a lot of unpredictable waves at this time. Might be a turbulent month, might feel like a lot of unexpected things are happening, but don't get bent out of shape about it. The figure on the Two of Pentacles, the juggler, has an elastic quality to him. Almost as if he's made out of rubber. His hat is stretched out. He's got like a rubber band binding those two coins together in the shape of the infinity symbol, which is just there to say that in perpetuity, life is always going to be unexpected. It will not always go according to plan. And so, like the juggler, you need to bend with this. We all know what happens to that which cannot bend. It breaks. And so the Two of Pentacles is telling you to be elastic, to bend to things as they're coming up. It also could just be a time where you're getting very creative about how you're juggling the very many projects or processes that you're involved in this next month. But keep your sense of humor, learn to laugh at yourself, and you're going to get through things fine. Emotionally, or advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Sagittarius this next month, emotionally speaking, is the Six of Cups. Cups have to do with our emotions, our feelings, and the Six of Cups has to do with the past. And I feel like this could be a time when you're bringing closure to the past, Sagittarius. It could also be a month where you're finishing something. So if it's an unfinished project or something that you're still trying to see get out into the world, this is a card that says finish the job, get the thing done. Six of Cups is also a card sometimes that warns you against looking back too much, looking over your shoulder, fighting last month's battles instead of focusing on the here and the now where you belong. I think that that's going to be important too. But I just feel like a lot's getting thrown at you this next month, Sagittarius. Not all bad stuff, but very busy stuff. And you're going to be at a disservice if you're looking back. You're not going to be paying attention to what's incoming right now. So it's so important that you're alert and awake and clear on what's happening at this time. That's really going to equip you with what you need to succeed for March. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Capricorn. So if you're a Capricorn or have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March. And we get the World card. Now, the World is the zenith, the apex of the major arcana, the final card. After the Fool goes through his whole journey, all the hills, all the valleys, all the good, all the bad, he arrives at the World card. And the World is a card of completion. You're not just completing a chapter of your life, Capricorn, you're completing a volume. Something's coming full circle at this time. And this is a month to complete the job, finish the thing that's in front of you. The World card is also a card of mastery. So this could be a time when you're really feeling like, I did that, I mastered that, I accomplished that. You're tying up some loose ends, and you're really getting ready for that next stage of your evolution. But anytime we see the World card, it's saying that as one phase is ending, you're just about to get into a new phase. And it's so important that you're cooperating with that change at this time. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Capricorn, look at you, lucky Capricorn, Ace of Wands. This is a card of new inspiration and new beginnings. And just like I was saying, where the World has to do with a completion of an old cycle, the Ace of Wands has to do with passion and inspiration for something new that you're creating at this time. And I just feel like there's fire and excitement and wonder with that Ace of Wands showing up for you. Ace of Wands is also a card that depicts a magic wand on it. So does the World. The woman has two magic wands. Here we see another magic wand. Magic wands in the fairy tale always have a time limit. So Cinderella's got to make the thing happen before midnight or her carriage is a pumpkin again. And so too for you, Capricorn, this is a time to have some urgency about whatever it is that you're feeling called to do or whatever it is that you're feeling inspired about. This is a time of coming full circle, something very exciting for sure. Next, we're going to go into the astrological sign of Aquarius. So if you're an Aquarius, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March 2025. And we get the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is just racing ahead on his horse. And he's thrashing it and he's yelling, go, go, go. And the horse is looking up at him like, I can't go any faster. Stop pushing me so hard. The Knight is the cruel taskmaster that's within all of us, that part of our brain which pushes us. And the horse is our physical body. And so Aquarius, it is so important that you are kind to your physical body this next month. There's some sort of intensity building around you. There's a sense of urgency and that you're really pushing for something. And you may need to stop and slow down and breathe a little bit as well. But also self-care is so important when we see the Knight of Swords. And I just kind of feel, with this card, I want to tell people to slow down a little bit, but I also feel like I want to tell you not to force things this next month. Don't push at it. Don't be aggressive with, I need to see this happen. That might be actually an energy that drives the thing away from you that you're really trying to see accomplished. And so I just feel like it would do you the world of good to dial it down a little bit this next month. Maybe breathe 5% slower, or speak 5% slower, or think 5% slower. Just deliberate a little bit more. I think that that's going to really help you. Advice from your inner wisdom, if you're an Aquarius, is actually the Strength card. And what a wonderful card the Strength card is. We see the woman in the white gown, and she's taming the lion below her. And the Strength card is telling you, Aquarius, to let your higher self, represented by the woman with the white gown, manage the thing in your life that feels out of control, that you're really intense about, the lion. The lion is different for everybody. Sometimes the lions are anxiety, our fear, our anger, our intensity, our passion, and it has to be subdued or it can consume us utterly. And so I do feel like there's a need for self-control this next month. And I feel like the more self-controlled you are, the better off you're going to be, Aquarius. So really just apply your higher self to the situation and you will bring that lion to heel. And last, but certainly never least, is our sensitive sign of Pisces. So if you're a Pisces or have a lot of Pisces in your chart, this first card is going to be where it's best for you to place your focus for March. And we get the Wheel of Fortune. Now, Wheel of Fortune is long associated with good luck and opportunity, so this could definitely be a month for you, Pisces, where you're just lucky, like something's going your way and it's just out of the blue. The Wheel of Fortune can also be a little bit of a card of unpredictability. And like the figures on the edge of the card, some are rising, some are falling. This could be a really up and down month for you, emotionally speaking, where, yeah, there's really lucky things happening, but don't rely on luck too much because luck can shift very quickly as well. So I feel like you're going to want to just bank the good things that are happening and be grateful for those, but don't lose sight about what practically needs to happen as well. And finally, the Wheel of Fortune will tell you to remain centered this next month. Don't get wrapped up in the dramas and circus that might be going on around you, but find your inner Zen place, find that place of calm. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you're a Pisces, for March 2024 is the Five of Swords, which, sort of like what I was saying, Five of Swords is a warning card not to take on more than you can handle, not to get overscattered, but to really remain centered. And also to apply logic to a situation. We can see here those two defeated figures in the background of the card. They're looking at that element of water. They're focused on the sea. And that means they're in their feelings too much. They're completely inundated with what they're feeling. They're feeling defeated that they couldn't pick up those 5 heavy swords. They just couldn't do it. So I guess I just give up and mope about it. And yet the figure in the foreground of the card, he's got the wind blowing through his hair. He's got that element of air with the clouds behind him, representing a logical approach. And he's picking up only several swords for right now and leaving the rest for later. So this could be a time where you don't want to bite off more than you can chew, Pisces, but you want to really pick up what you can pick up right now and leave the other stuff for later. Could also be a time where there's a wonderful opportunity with that Wheel of Fortune, or several really important opportunities, but with the Five of Swords, you can't do them all, or at least you can't do them all well. And so it might be a time to prioritize or focus on one, maybe two things that are really going to be helpful for you without getting inundated with trying to do it all. But either way, I just feel like being in your centered Zen place is going to be so helpful for you this next month, Pisces. So find that inner calm. And that was this month's Tarotscope for March 2025. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can always schedule a one-on-one tarot session with me at elliotoracle.com. I'd love to read your cards and see what they have to say about you and your particular situation and what might be ahead for you for not just March, but the many months ahead after that. Also, if you found this video useful, please do share it with a friend. It really does help our community grow. Also, subscribing, liking, it also helps. And there's tons of stuff on my channel, tons of free tarot resources that come out every month, daily card pulls, weekly oracles, and also card definitions and meanings that you want to take advantage of. So do join our wonderful community here. And also drop a comment. I love reading those. I love reading how the cards might apply to your situation or what you might be going through in your own life as well as the cards pertain to it. So I hope you have a wonderful March, whatever it is that you're doing. And for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, happy almost spring. We're all looking forward to that. And do take care of yourselves, and I will see you again here next time.